Alright, I'm giving my speech on the zero tolerance policy. Here are my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 audience members / camera operator. Alright. How's everyone doing?
Good.
That's good. Today I'm here to talk about the zero tolerance policy in public schools. You may or may not have an opinion on the subject. However, I'm here to enlighten you on a subject that may not seem as it appears. First, let me tell you what the zero tolerance policy is. Zero tolerance policies have generally involved harsh disciplinary consequences, such as long-term suspensions or expulsions for violations involving drugs, alcohol, aggression, such as fighting, and weapons. But they've also been applied to minor non-violent offenses such as tardiness and disorderly conduct. The policy was designed originally to dramatically reduce the number of shooting and violent crimes in schools. However, the American Psychological Association in 2006 reported finding no evidence that the zero tolerance policies reduce school violence or improve student behavior. Application of the zero tolerance policies in situations that appear unrelated to the purpose of reducing school violence, for example, taking Midol for menstrual cramps, or a kindergartner with a butter knife in his lunchbox that his mother put there, are examples that give the public perception that administrators are making inappropriate decisions that are not in the interest of students. And that is exactly what's happening. The zero tolerance policy is viewed by administrators in one of two ways. It is either a scapegoat for harsh discipline and removing students from the school, or the administrator feels that the policy takes away the benefit of good judgment and decision making. Multiple suspensions, long-term suspension, or expulsion may have other deleterious effects on the community, crime, and violence, as well as removing the opportunity to provide education and treatment to the children and youth who may be at risk for future violence. Furthermore, the zero tolerance policies have been struck down by the U.S. courts and departments of education. Particularly dismaying hypotheses about the zero tolerance policy is that it may actually discourage some people from reporting criminal and illegal behavior for fear of losing relationships or for many other reasons. That is, ironically, the zero tolerance policies may be ineffective for the very purpose that they were designed. A few examples of the zero tolerance policy being administered poorly. Critics of the zero tolerance policy, such as myself, refer to cases where minor offenses have resulted in severe punishment and instead make schools more like a jail or a prison. Typical examples include the honor roll student being expelled under the no weapons policy for being in possession of nail clippers. Other examples include in a Sandusky High School in Ohio, a student was suspended for 90 days and flunked after authorities found a broken pocket knife on him during a drug search in September of 1999. He used the knife to clean his golfing cleats and resulted in his expulsion from the school. After bringing a Cub Scouts dinner knife to school to eat his lunch, a 6-year-old boy was ordered by the Christina School District to attend an alternative school for students with behavioral problems for 9 weeks. After immediate uproar, the school board voted unanimously to reduce punishments for kindergartners and first graders who take weapons to school to a 3 to 5 day mandatory suspension, regardless of the offense. They retained the definition of weapons as one that was equated to the possession of a dinner knife to arson or rape. A 3rd grade boy, also in the Christina School District, was expelled for a year because her grandmother sent a birthday cake to school with her. In that cake was included, inside of the cake, a knife was included to cut the cake. The teacher used the knife to cut the cake and then reported the girl to the authorities as having a dangerous weapon. And she was expelled for a year for that. Other cases in the Christina School District include a straight-A student who was ordered to attend a reform school after a classmate dropped a pocket knife in his lap, and in 2007 when a girl was expelled for using a utility knife to cut paper for a project. Earlier in 2009, an Eagle Scout was suspended for 3 weeks for having an emergency supply kit in his car. That kit included a pocket knife. A kindergartner was suspended in March 2010 for making a finger gun. Alright, so as you can see, the examples are plentiful. Please take a few minutes and watch a slideshow I put together to give you some perspective on exactly what administrators have viewed as weapons.
Tears are filling up their glasses. No expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Children waiting for the day they feel.
Alright, hope everyone enjoyed the slideshow, and I hope it gave everyone a little perspective on just who the dangerous criminals carrying weapons down the 5th grade hallways really are. Fortunately, the solution to this problem is a fairly easy fix. There are many options out there to improve or replace the policy. For example, specify graduated categories of inappropriate or undesirable behaviors and align them with the categories of consequences. This is more reasonable than specifying punishments for each behavior. I also think it is important that schools minimize the use of exclusionary discipline punishments. Just a thought, when I was in high school, a day of out-of-school suspension meant an extra long weekend. An amnesty clause where nonviolent students who accidentally bring banned objects to school or find them can give them to a school official without fear of punishment would also be beneficial to both the school and the students. And finally, the simplest way to improve the current system is to give the administrators the right to use common sense judgments when issuing a disciplinary action. If these simple steps are implemented, then there is a real chance that change for the better will occur. A real chance that someone close to you won't accidentally fall victim to a broken policy.